report is intended to be a baseline and a resource for all policymakers, governments, private sector to use as a platform or as a foundation for building their strategies and their plans going forward to harness the opportunity of the growth of digital economy. We focus on 6 main trends that we saw there that are going to affect the ecosystem of digital economy. Nevertheless, AI, which is the biggest trend that we go in depth in. We see the market of a $207 billion market that is going to be added to the GDP by 2030, all coming from AI. We also look at cybersecurity, look at digital reality, trust economy, as well as smart ecosystems on how to invest and how to we create new modules of businesses and bridging the gap between the private sector and the governments, and last but not least, green economy. Yes, technologies are evolving. Yes, we are in a sector that is disruptive and change is by the minute, and this is the uniqueness. The uniqueness of DCO is that it creates that platform that brings in the governments and the private sector and civil society to co-create and co-design together to accelerate that growth and transformation. But that transformation is a huge agenda, from infrastructure to reforms to human capital development to sectorial evolution and transformation. No country can do this alone. Therefore, it is very important that we open the borders between the countries more, enable tech startups, enable tech ventures to expand their nation. That will enable technology to be available in member countries, as well as that fast growth of these companies will enable the economies of the countries that they represent as well. We do focus a lot on women and youth, and we believe that they are the drivers of digital economy in the future. It alarms me when I read reports that 350 million women will not have access to internet. That by itself is a huge loss in terms economically and socially. We're very proud in DCO to launch initiatives that enables and empowers women and youth to move from job seekers to job creators. One of them is We Elevate, which is moving traditional women businesses into online businesses. And that by itself, we see a direct contribution to GDP and also job creation. We are on a mission to enable every government, business and person a fair opportunity to prosper in a digital and inclusive and sustainable digital economy. Therefore, we welcome any like-minded nations to join. We're very proud of our partnership with the World Economic Forum. We have launched a joint initiative together to enable the acceleration of digital transformation for our member countries, which is the Digital FDI initiatives, Digital Foreign Direct Investment. This initiative, we study every country independently because each is unique and the needs of each country is different. So we study the environment. The aim is to create stimulus business environments. We provide the right recommendations for the countries in terms of the reforms as well as incentive packages. And then what is very unique is that we actually facilitate that investment attraction, and also we help and support the outwards investment as well. We have started with Pakistan and Rwanda, and now we are going to start with Oman and Cyprus as well. Well, we see that trust is fundamental. We either from a bilateral perspective or either between the governments and the private sector or with your citizens as nations. Building that trust is really important, especially when we're talking about new technologies and trends like generative AI. Misinformation online. We have to start building that trust, either nations together or either nations with the service providers, for us to move from an egocentric approach to an ecocentric approach as well. The discussions that we had were very powerful discussions. The essence, or let's say what we took from these discussions is everyone is ready to action. Everyone is ready to have very meaningful discussions, very action-oriented discussions, and we have seen that digital is in the forefront of every discussion. We have 2.7 billion people are unconnected, and connectivity is now essential, is like water and electricity. Therefore, we have to solve that challenge, and all our discussions here were discussing that. So the appetite is there, and I'm very optimistic about the future. We have launched the Stride Association, and this association focuses on entrepreneurs specifically, and how can we create an environment to help that diversity of startups to learn from each other, for them to work with each other. It's very inspiring to see some of them joining ventures and partnering together. Two of the initiatives that we launched under the Stride Association, which is the Startup Act, unifying and harmonizing within our member countries a policy that will help and support that expansion very quickly, and also providing the startup passport, which will reduce the time of any startup to expand to another nation. Well, we expect that 70% of the added value in the global GDP by 2030 is from digital platforms. Therefore, there is no way that we do not recognize that digital is the way to go in terms of the growth of the economy. And therefore, DCO is the platform to help and support these nations, to guide them on the how, and also to facilitate and to help and support them in bringing in the institutions that will help in that accelerating that transformation. I'm very optimistic when we look at AI and how it is now in the forefront of a lot of our discussions. I personally believe that AI, if we look at it as a tool that will benefit humanity, then we will see prosperity and also the benefit of living efficiently, increasing the quality of life, and also work productivity as well. If it is regulated and governed the right way, and this is what we see in the discussions in Davos, where there is a consensus that there should be a slight, at least, guidance and governance on the way ahead on to look at on how we are going to look at AI. Another aspect that we look at out of Davos is the appetite of investment and the appetite of the private sector to look at the opportunities of the nations, and also the appetite of nations to open up and to share data and to showcase what opportunities in these countries. we have launched the Digital Space Accelerators to look at specific topics that will help and support nations in their transformation journey. And at these accelerators, we bring in all the industry leaders and also civil society to provide their inputs. We had great success story last year. We were in 5 continents, from Kigali to Bangkok to New York, Chile, and even Brussels. We had participation of more than 1,200 experts from all over the world. And the outcomes of that discussion was, how are we going to bridge the gap between the private sector and between the governments? This year, we're very proud that we're going to, after seeing the success last year of how we enabled that cooperation, we're doing the same this year, but we're focusing on topics that came out of the first report, which is Triple P, looking at Triple P modules and how can we come up with new modules that will help governments and private sector work together. Also, we're looking at digital rights and intellectual property. We're looking at women in technology. We're focusing on taxation and how that is a hurdle for a lot of startups and entrepreneurs to grow and expand. And topics that really are part of the digital economy trends that we have launched. The outcomes, what's unique is the outcomes of these accelerators is not just recommendations, but initiatives actually. So we recommend these initiatives and we actually implement them.